Amir, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for having me, man.
It's a pleasure to have you. You're
I'm
one of my
excited.
dream guests, and
Stop.
I'm excited to do this. What do you do, and why do you do it?
So I like to equip people with the tools to share their opinions on tough topics from a rational perspective. And I do that mainly via long-form videos on YouTube. Talk about a variety of topics, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I love it because I feel like I'm actively contributing to the discourse that's going on in our country and really bringing people together, because there's a lot of people out there that feel like they unfortunately don't have a voice when they more often than not just have a very rational viewpoint. And so I help give room for that.
Yeah. What made you start doing that?
I've always been vocal. I've always been outspoken, even when, within a year, I was marching with BLM, crying in the streets, to in the White House meeting Trump, because I've always been going to the source and I've always been vocal. So with that, that's pretty much it. And I've always been in a position where I have been able to be vocal. When I was working at my 9 to 5, they're very supportive in what I was saying online, just because, I don't know, just free speech. Like, they didn't really care what I was talking about. And because I'm so resilient to hate, I just never really cared. Like, there was this one time in high school, 9th grade, this guy looked at me, threw a milk carton at me and said, "Hey, F slur for gay people." And I just looked at him and I was like, okay. And I just brushed myself off. And that was it. And everybody's like, "Why aren't you going to fight him?" And I'm like, because he has bigger demons he's battling at home. And so I really am in a position where I just do not care what other people think. And so I'm just going to say it. And that's why I do it.
I think recognizing that hurt people is really important when it comes to being someone who's going to have a lot of haters or people who are going to like talk crap on you. How do you, because it's not easy when that happens to you. You can be the strongest person in the world. It's not easy. How do you rise above that when it's happening probably every day?
Yeah, it happens every day. I rise above it by just acknowledging that no matter what you're doing in life, someone's going to be hating you.
Yeah.
So I just genuinely don't care. I will always take constructive criticism. I'll always listen to it. I'll always hear out the other side. But when it comes to when someone's raising their voice, cursing, or being disrespectful, I have no time for it. I don't even let it affect me or bother me, because I know they're going through so much of their own struggles. And there's so much, like, they're just willfully ignorant people. So I know the bar I set for myself. I know the standards that I have and the respect that I have for myself. I'm not going to stoop to that level and give that any time of day. It's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
So I just don't. The only time I'm ever really hurt is when it's from people that are in my circle or that know me.
Yeah.
Like friends that have canceled me or whatever. But outside of that, I do not care.
Yeah.
It can be aggressive at some points. And that part is like weird. When you're like going online, it's just like hate. And it's like, damn. But it's not worth it.
Well, I thank you for being you and continuing to do it, because your videos they make me feel seen, they make me feel heard, and many other people, they do the same thing.
It's an honor. I'm glad.
The recent video that I really made me feel so seen, and it was just beautiful, was your video on Charlie Kirk. And I remember when I first heard about what happened and saw the horrible video, I was in class, and I left my classroom, and I went out into the main lobby of the building, and there were people out there watching the video, of course, because it just sends it to essentially everyone. And they were high-fiving, and they were cheering, and like, finally someone got him. That's what people were saying. And I was so scared. I was so lost. I was like, what is happening? Is this true? What's going on? What was your first reaction when you heard the news?
When I heard the news, I was like, oh, this isn't real. And then I saw the faraway video, and I was like, okay, it's real, but it's like Trump. It's like he's got grazed or he got hit, but it's fine. And then I was sent the up-close video with no context. I just like watched it, and I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, okay. And the first thing I thought about, among many, was one, I just saw that as a shot to like free speech and a shot to everyone who speaks about more conservative leaning content, like all my friends, like myself. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Like, I have many friends who I've met Charlie. I've been in a lot of events like that, and it's crazy that we've gotten to the point where people celebrate someone being assassinated.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I really cut off some people around me, because I'm like, if you're applauding him being taken out because of his thoughts, what did that say about when I pass? Or if that was me, because we have the same thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, I understand I am not Charlie Kirk by no means, but when you're having other people say, all right, who's next? Oh, let's throw Candace Owens on the list, Amir Odom on the list, Brett Cooper on the list goes on. It's like, what are we doing? And so that was really eye-opening and uncomfortable.
What's strange is these are people who, they don't create policy. They're not actually changing anything. They're just talking about stuff that's happening. And obviously Turning Point has changed a lot in society, but politically, actually what's happening, he's not responsible for any of the things that people are even mad about.
Yeah.
And that's what's frustrating and scary, is because I'm a person who talks about things. I have friends who talk about things. You talk about things. Could this just be any one of us? When people hear something that they disagree with, that they don't like, are we the next person? And that was the thought I had. And I don't know, watching a video like you, being surrounded by people who hate Charlie Kirk at my school and saying, oh, he's a racist. Oh, he's a bigot. Oh, he was X, Y, and Z. He did all these things. Your video really clarified a lot of this for me. And I don't know, was it hard making a video? First of all, it's such fast turnaround. You made a very in-depth, detailed video very fast. Was it hard doing that? And maybe for people who haven't seen the video yet, could you give some of the misconceptions and like clear them up?
Yeah. So the news happened, and of course everyone's asking for my opinion and everything that went on. Because Charlie's one of the biggest reasons why I have a platform today. He invited me to my first political event that I've ever gone to. So I met him, and I first made a video, but it was a very emotionally charged reaction. Like, more so, the first video that's not out, that I just deleted, I just scrapped it. It was just me sad, upset, and talking about what happened. But my main metric for when I make content is, am I providing value? And at that moment in time, I knew what people needed, and that was a resource that really highlighted the man Charlie Kirk was and debunking all the things that people claim about him. And I know the position that I'm in and the quote-unquote identity politics, but I acknowledge openly that me and you can say the same things, but people listen to me more because I'm black and gay, and they're like, oh, I don't care what a white man says. But when I say it, it's like, oh, well, actually, there's a little more weight to that for the people that do look at identity politics.
Yeah.
So a video I put together was just like, okay, I'm going to debunk every single claim that they say about him. Whether he's, oh, they say he's racist. Well, no, that clip is taken out of context. He actually was responsible for a nonprofit that works in many lower income black communities. Like, I don't know what racist does that. He was the reason I was at the White House with 400 other black people. They say he's homophobic. He employs so many gay people, very respectful of other gay people. They say he's transphobic. Was fine around trans people. He was just upset at trans minors. So yeah, I had to make that video because I wanted people to have a place to go. And at that moment in time, looking around at all the content, it was just people explaining what happened or telling their stories that they've had with Charlie Kirk. And that's fine and dandy, and that's very honorable for people to see that side of him. But I knew it was important to just put out a video that acted as a resource for people to see the real man that he was.
And it really did help a lot of people, and even people who maybe didn't disagree with them, I showed them the video. And I think what you touched on with like the identity politics stuff, you are such a great vessel because of who you are and your background and what you've gone through. And you do such a great job. And you're very talented at it, but you're also disarming. Yeah. You're disarming to people because they're like, oh, okay, well, he's not this straight white man, MAGA Republican guy going on. And you soften people's hearts and are able to show them the truth kindly because, first of all, they feel like you're not the person who's been telling them their whole lives that they suck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I try to just, lean into that because it comes from an honest place. I've always been transparent about my life, where I've been. I don't know, it's just real stuff. Like, I've been through the conversion therapy. I've been through being homeless. I've been through, self-deletion attempts. I've been through a lot, and I'm very open about it. And I'm glad it's viewed as disarming because I want to create content that's very calm, rational, and helps people, quote unquote, wake up. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the Charlie Kirk assassination was a symptom of a larger problem. And I think that we would be missing completely if we didn't look at the bigger issue, which the bigger issue is the cause of the symptom. It is this deep division that's being caused. I don't know how or why or where, but I really thank you because people like you are helping have conversations on the symptoms, but also getting to the issue of it. And I wanted to tell you this story. I heard this study that was done with fire ants, and they took red fire ants and black fire ants, and they put them in a jar. What they do is they separate, they go to two sides of the jar, and they live harmoniously. They don't fight each other at all. As soon as you shake the jar, they both go completely killing each other, and they shake the jar. And I feel like that's America right now. There's red fire ants, there's blue fire ants, and they're fighting each other. Yeah. And they're so mad at each other, but they're not taking the time to look at who's shaking the jar. And I think that's what's important is until we recognize who's shaking the jar or what is shaking the jar, and I don't know who it is, I don't know what it is, but I know that there's someone shaking the jar. There's no reason why me and you should be divided. We're both humans, we're both alive. We definitely have something in common, and that's the same with every other person. We can find that and look at who's shaking the jar and try and unify overlooking. I don't know. That was just, I found that fascinating, and I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think there is a lot of media and bad actors that are shaking the jar because there's a lot of lost context. Yeah. If you go to the average black person on the street and you ask them, hey, how many unarmed black men are being shot and killed by the police? They're going to say the hundreds. They're going to say the thousands. And that elicits a real pain in black people that I once had, pain, anxiety, fear, because I thought my life was genuinely in danger from the police because that's what I was being told online in the media and ACAB and all cops are bad. But when you look up the data, there are more people being struck by lightning than black unarmed men are being shot and killed by the cops. It's on average between 10 and 20 a year. So when I knew that, I was like, oh, wow, maybe it's not that bad as people are saying. And I think it's just the media and bad actors that are just portraying how hateful things are. There's an organization called GLAAD, GLAAD, which is a gay nonprofit, and they called Chloe Cole transphobic, even though Chloe Cole is a detransitioner who got a double mastectomy, was a biological woman who wanted to turn into a man, got a double mastectomy at the age of 15, grew up, later regretted it. And she speaks out about that. She's saying, hey, we shouldn't be, transing minors, and now there's gay organizations calling this person a far-right transphobic bigot. And it's like you're not being genuine. You're not being honest in that conversation. Yeah. The average person out there, they aren't transphobic, they aren't homophobic, they just want kids to be left alone and women's sports to be left alone. That's it. And if we're able to have open dialogue and really have actual conversations about these things, it would be fine.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so hard now because these social issues, that's a social issue, I feel, correct?
Yeah.
Is so politicized because politicians are so intertwined with social issues. And it's hard to separate these things. And then when social issues we are empathizing versus sympathizing, and then we are putting ourselves in their shoes, and then we are trying to feel someone else's pain, which is impossible. It's impossible for me to feel your pain.
And that, funny enough, that was one of the quotes that were taken out of context from Charlie Kirk. He said he didn't like the word empathy. He preferred sympathy more because I don't feel your pain. I can acknowledge it and I can see it, but I don't necessarily feel it. And I do think we become way too empathetic, that it's clouding our judgment, that we're not being honest and real about the situations going on at hand, and it's unfortunate.
Because we're acting out of hurt that we've never experienced, that we're trying to think about, oh, okay, this is probably what it feels like. Now I'm a fake victim. I'm a victim pretending to be a victim, and now I'm going to act out of that fake victimhood and be justified in whatever it is that I do. And I think that is, it's feelings over facts.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating. Like I've heard that growing up all the time, like people saying feelings over facts and all that.
Yeah, facts don't care about your feelings, but it's true.
Yeah.
We can't be this accommodating to everybody.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out that way. It just isn't.
I wanted to get your thoughts on affirmative action. It's definitely a hot button issue. And as a black conservative, do you support it in any form, or do you think it's more counterproductive?
I think back in the day, it would have been more beneficial. Right after slavery, right after integration, really like pushing for, let's bring everybody together. But nowadays, I think affirmative action has just made more people racist. Like it's open. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but not really. But I always feel like it's kind of made me more racist because growing up, if I'm driving down if I'm in the backseat of a car driving down the highway and I see a black person on a billboard, I see a black actor in Hollywood, I see a black dentist, a black pilot. It's like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like, I see black people that aren't just basketball players or rappers. Like, this is actually really neat. But now when I see them, I'm like, were you given that? Did you even earn that? Are you there because this company had to reach their metrics? Or are you there because you actually earned that? And that's the sad part. Because like even with Harvard, they lowered their standards to accept more black people into the university, which to me, had a conversation with another a black liberal, and we're debating this, and he was looking at it like, okay, they're bringing in more black people, that's good, it's more diverse. And to me, I see that as Harvard saying black people are dumb, because you're saying for a white person and an Asian person to get in, you need to reach 100, but if you're black, you can get in at like a 70 or 80. That's not a compliment. That's actually wrong to me as a black person. I look at that and I'm like, damn, now when you look around at other black people, it's like, did you earn that? Are you here for a reason? That's why I feel like it's made people more racist when you see all the memes of like, oh, a black pilot or a black doctor. Now it's like, oh snap, like, did you earn that? Or were you given that? And now it's made people look at white people more like, oh, you worked past all this affirmative action and DEI stuff. Maybe you actually did like work harder, because we know they're looking at more black applicants now.
What do you propose would be a better alternative to that? And maybe even, I don't know. What's your advice to
I think
to
just
people?
keep going how they were. Like, I'm all for you looking at the total story. So, for example, if you have a white boy from a rich family with a 4.0 and a black boy from the hood, not many extracurriculars, maybe just a few, but in their story, talking about like babysitting their siblings and all that, and they have a 4.0, I can see a little bit like going towards the black one, mainly for the story and the amount of resilience that they have. But that's even equal for a white kid from a wealthy family and a white kid from a trailer park with both 4.0s, and they going towards the trailer park to give him a little leg up. I'm okay with that, but to look at base, like purely skin color, no, we're not. We're 13% of the population. it's not always going to be equal, especially when you have a black culture that hypes up entertainment. It is going to be rare you see a black pilot, and it's not because there's a lack of black people applying. That is what it is. It's because there's not that many black people in the country. Like, it's not going to be equal. We want equal representation. Well, we're not equal in the country. It's not. It's never
just numbers wise.
It's just numbers. And then black people are always like, oh well, they open up a I don't know, a hiking brochure, and it's like, there's no black people in this brochure. Well, do we hike? Do we judge other black people? Are you doing white people stuff for your hiking? You acting white, you're talking white, listening to white people music. It's all goes back to culture.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really much of anything that these companies need to be doing. Like, it was fine.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about people who accuse you of pandering to white audiences and being like the perfect black conservative guy? It's
funny because some people do say that I'm just pandering, or my Uncle Tom, or I'm just like catering to the white audience, but I feel like I'd be doing a bad job. Like, I don't know what gay guy that occasionally smokes weed and like psychedelics, married to a dude, like really caters to that. But they say I do. I would just say I'm allowed to have my own thoughts and opinions, and for you to put me in a box is more racist than you think. Because you think as a black person I have to stay locked in this ideological box. If the black person does this, here's their black card, listen to this kind of music, they act this kind of way, and me not in that box, now I'm catering to somebody instead of just being myself and being independent. That's just more about you judging me than me just being myself. Because that's really the ultimate freedom that I feel white people have over black people, and it's that they're able to just be. Yeah, white people get bullied, but within white culture, like, you have, white thugs, you have white people knitting, you have white people on Harleys, you have white people doing all types of things, and it's fine for them. But for black people, if you have a black person doing something different, it's immediately black people judging and critiquing them. It's like, oh well, I remember back when it was like the Oscars so white because not a lot of black people were getting recognition. It's like, okay, well, if you go back to middle school, you have a black guy joining drama club. It's the black community calling him the F slur, calling him gay, bullying him for being in drama. And it's like, we're the first ones to critique anything that a black person does for stepping outside the norm. So if you're going to judge me and say, oh, well, you're just pandering to your white audience, first off, have a large black audience, large gay audience, large every type of people, but I'm just being myself. And if you think me being myself means I'm pandering because I don't fit your idea of what a black gay person is supposed to act like and look like, that's on you, not me.
Yeah. And yeah, wow. I've never truly thought about the stereotypes that maybe people feel like they have to fit in or be. I don't know. Yeah,
that's what drove me down this huge identity crisis and went to like self-delete because I was never black enough. Like, I was always bullied by other black people for not fitting in, or I didn't like basketball. I didn't really listen to rap music a lot growing up. Like, I was riding my skateboard to school. I had the big DC shoes. Like, I was doing my own thing, and I would get bullied for that. And even when I first was, outed on accident by my best friend, when I first came out, I flew out. Like, I went like the most stereotypical gay person you could ever think of because I thought that's what I had to be.
Yeah.
Based off of what I experienced being black. And it's hard out there. And I'm glad there's more people coming to terms with, hey, just because you have brown skin doesn't mean you need to act a certain way. And just because you like dudes doesn't mean you need to act a certain way. You don't need to go to Grindr and drag queen shows and the gay club. You don't have to do any of that. You can just exist. And it's unfortunate that it's these communities, the black community, the gay community, that are screaming diversity, equity, inclusion, but they're the most copy-paste clones of each other to ever exist.
Yeah.
It's like you want diversity, but all you care about is diversity of how someone looks, not diversity of thought. I'd much rather listen to a panel of 4 white men who all think differently then a panel of 4 different races, sexes, and identities that all think the same. One's diversity of thought, and one is diversity of representation.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have diversity of thought because I'm going to get more out of that conversation than a black, queer, trans woman with the Z, zer, they, them, and it's nonsense.
Yeah.
It is.
At my school, I go to a school that was actually criticized by Charlie Kirk for a video that got leaked about DEI and how, like, yeah, we still do DEI, we just, like, change the name so it can happen. And I honestly am undereducated about DEI and why it was banned and what was going on with that. But I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Is it helping? Do you think it helps to forcefully foster inclusion? Or are they inadvertently?
I don't think it helps. Like I said, I think it helps when you're including other people's stories.
Yeah.
I think it helps when you're including, whether it's the poor black kid from the hood or the poor white person from the trailer park, throwing out, stereotypes or whatever. I think it's worth including people's of stories and different hardships, but no, it doesn't help when we're just focused so much on we need more women, we need more gays, we need more trans, we need more blacks, we need more browns. You're just creating more division when you're just looking at me based purely off of characteristics that I have nothing to do with. I don't think it helps that much. I think it helped on the basis of, hey, allowing it. Like, yeah, women should be allowed in certain spaces. Black people should be allowed in spaces. Like, we should all be able to have the same laws, but to force, like, you can't force kids to be friends, You can't force adults either. You can't force someone to be together and expect, it's so judgmental too, because it's like, because we automatically, let's take this white group and this black group and mash them together, you're automatically looking at them being different just based off of their skin color. What if they're not different at all?
Yeah.
What they're maybe different off their skin color? Cool. But again, 13% of the country, it's not always going to be the same. It's not always going to be equal. And there's not a lot of people out there who have ill intentions. Are there racist people out there still? Yes. Have I encountered them? Yes. Are there homophobic people out there? Yes. That's never going to go away. It can be minimized, but we're not going to live in a utopia. So I don't know what these people expect. And so when it comes to all the DEI and affirmative action stuff, I feel like it's just done more harm than good. Again, if you're going to look at race, or I feel like if you're going to look at someone's profile, look at their whole life and then hire them based off of that. But don't just hire me just because I'm black because you need to reach a quota. Don't just hire me because I'm gay because you need to reach a quota. It does more harm than good, I feel like.
And it probably makes you feel dehumanized.
Yeah.
Which the whole purpose of it, I think, was to humanize people and to unify people and make people feel like they can be themselves. But this actually, I think, stripped people away.
Yeah, it makes people wonder, especially if you're in college right now and you're at a school that really, amplifies DEI or like affirmative action practices. It's like, as a black person or as a gay person, am I here just because I'm black? Am I here just because I'm gay, or is it because of the value that I provide? In my mindset, in my grades, in my studying, am I actually worth something?
Yeah.
It makes people question themselves.
Yeah. In this volatile space of being a political influencer and commentator, how do you stay grounded in who Amir is? How do you feel every single day, like, ready to go? Because when I'm deep into politics and I'm doing research and stuff, I feel hopeless, and I look at the world like, okay, this is effed. We're so screwed. But you seem hopeful, energized, excited, and you love this stuff. So how do you keep yourself grounded personally?
One, my supporters, I'm very thankful for them. the comments that they send, the messages, the emails, like it's incredible. And I see the support and I read it, and I do see the tides turning as far as people being more optimistic, people waking up. So that makes me happy. I do see that. But then two, just knowing where we've come from in society. I understand, like to a certain point, you have to have some type of hope to keep moving forward. And I know our nation's history with Black people, and I understand that every generation of from my parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, we're all living in a different America. And like, if I'm going back to my ancestors on the fields, and they had an attitude of like, well, it's never gonna change. We're always gonna be slaves. We're just here. The world's effed. Nothing would have changed. So I understanding like things have always been bad at some point in time. The Great Depression, World Wars. I mean, life goes on. It's always gonna go on. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than anyone in this office. It's bigger than all of us that are currently alive right now.
Yeah.
So because I fully acknowledge the world will keep going, I mean, shit, I just have to keep going. And I'm positive in the tides turning based off of the amount of people like yourself, like people listening right now that are opening their minds to hear other people out.
Yeah, and the idea that we have it so good right now in history. Like, if you look long term on history, we are in probably the best it's ever been, ever.
Completely agree.
Mortality is down. Like, so much is going on that's amazing.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why we have so much chaos going on, is because there's a lot of people that are bored.
Yes.
If you are this bored, or you're this fortunate, where you're upset because someone didn't use the right pronouns for you, when there's people on this planet dying to get their next meal, you have to stop and realize how like fortune blessed you really are in this country.
Yes.
You are in your room ordering DoorDash and sad that someone didn't refer to you as a they, them. When there's someone on this planet right now don't even know, like they're struggling to turn on their lights. There's so much corruption in this world, in other countries, and America's definitely has some corrupt facets of it, but we have it so good, and people are bored. They're just bored.
Yeah, I was just talking with a friend about this morning, is that like, we are so fortunate. Like, he was like, why is this happening? He was calling me so frustrated. I was like, well, we're just bored. We're getting to play with pieces on the chessboard that has never been allowed, because we literally, everything is automated. Everything is done for us. So this is just, everyone is playing imagination all day long. And you see, well, the world seems so crazy because people are just thinking all the time and just like, yep, I'm this, I'm doing that. Yep.
And they immediately putting their thoughts online. Like, I couldn't even imagine going to school with all the social media. Like, all I had in middle school was MySpace, Facebook playing Farmville. We had AIM, Yahoo Messenger. That was it. Smartphones for me, I sound so old. I'm only 30. Smartphones really didn't come out till like 10th grade. Like, I was like Snapchat, Instagram when it first came out, when like Instagram didn't even have stories. It was like just pictures.
Yeah.
So social media really didn't become social until I was in college. So I can't imagine growing up with that.
Yeah. I was lucky to not be around it as much. The only time I was around it was really my dad, because he had a platform and he was doing that. But I didn't get social media until I was able to drive, and I'm thankful for it.
Good.
I felt really on the outs for a long time because of that, because you're different, and when you're different, you get isolated and ostracized. But it was really good, and I'm grateful for it, because I got to have those years just kind of free from the thoughts. And
there's no reason you're 13, 14, 15 and you worried about what's happening in Palestine and Israel.
You don't need to. You shouldn't have
like,
to.
calm down.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I it's scary now, because being who I am and not being afraid to say what I believe, I get a lot of hate at school. A lot of most of it, if not all of it, is anonymous, and it's scary. You get threats, you hear things, and you feel terrified. But I feel convicted because I know.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel convicted. I'm glad you are staying true to who you are. You're not bending the knee to conform to campus. Still being respectful, still being kind. Yes. But you have your own thoughts, and you're allowed to have that.
Yeah,
and for anyone shutting that down, it's like the antithesis of what you're really wanting. You're screaming down what's fascist, but you'll punch somebody in the face for having a thought. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the word liberal, I've talked about this before, but the word liberal has shifted a lot. Like, liberal used to be protecting liberal ideas, which was what? Freedom of speech, tolerance. The people who are liberal now are the complete opposite of those things.
The left. It's like that infamous graph. It's like you have the left, the middle, and the right, and the left is just like running that way. And now someone that is center right or right is like an OG left. Like the first president to ever get inaugurated, like the first president ever like become president accepting gay marriage was Trump. The first president. Like when Obama entered office, he was against gay marriage. Biden, Clinton, like, and these are all the same people that wanted a border wall. You can look online, like Biden, Obama, Hillary, all these people are talking about we need stronger borders and we need to do something about all these illegal immigrants, and that's all they were hollering about 10, 20 years ago. And now they just flipped the script. And I'm all for you growing, but at the same time, you're already a grown adult. Grown adults don't change that much, especially when you can tell it's just changing because of money.
Yeah.
So that's a sad part, but I'm glad you are being resilient and you're being vocal in your beliefs because it's needed.
What do you think people are fighting for? Why are they fighting? Like, I'm not talking politicians. I'm talking like the lay person, the civilian, the person listening to this right now.
I think they're fighting to fit in and to not be canceled. To fit in and not be canceled. That's one of the only reasons I can think of, because you don't want to be pushed on the outskirts. You want to fit in, and when you speak out more conservatively, you get judged, you get criticized, and there's a lot of people that don't want to deal with that. Life is already hard enough. Inflation, people got bills, people are adulting, they're coming of age. Like, there's already so much going on. They don't want to deal with the extra stress of like losing their friend group or being judged, potentially being fired. So just fight for the other cause or just not say something at all. And then the people that are fighting, they're just so empathetic that they feel like, well, this person needs to feel good. This person needs to feel good because no one should feel pain. And it's like, people are going to feel pain. At the end of the day, you're going to fight so hard that you alienate every single body out there. At some point, we need a basis of truth, and that basis of truth has been eroding. And there's been so many people fighting for people to be comfortable and people to be loved, and that's not real. It cannot and will not happen because you're going to always dwindle down. Then it's oppression Olympics, and you're just going to keep focusing on someone who has the most check boxes. There's no reason in the year 2025, I, a gay man, am considered transphobic for not wanting to get with a trans man.
That's a thing?
That's actually a thing that's been happening. There's been more gay people getting hate from the trans community. Remember, they're saying trans men are when trans women are women, as if they didn't transition from one thing to another, but they're claiming to be that said thing. So now you have people with vaginas saying they're males and saying that I, a gay man, that I'm gay because I only like penis, that I'm transphobic and I'm homophobic with all the phobics because I don't want to get with this person who says they're a man, and because I'm gay, that means I like men. No. that I'm a hateful person because I don't want to get with this person because they just are based off of because they don't have a penis. That's stupid. There's gay, straight, and bi. It makes sense. We all know what it is. And now, because you're trying to cater so much to people, we just keep going down this hole of like, oh, well, this trans man's feelings hurt because you don't look at them like a man. They're not. You can get me mad. They're not. And it's just so frustrating that we keep going down this route of like catering to everybody. And it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just feels like what you were saying with the left.
Yeah.
It feels intellectually dishonest to kind of be in the same spot, and it's frustrating because you've been staying in the same place the entire time, and then the goalpost just keeps shifting.
Right.
And we're so far away that I can't even see the goalpost anymore. And now I grew up in a smaller town in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people around me were Republican. I didn't think being gay was a sin in church growing up. I was like, I don't think something's wrong here. Something is incorrect here. And I have my own whole debate. We could have a whole conversation about that. But I was viewed by people around me as someone, I'm like kind of a liberal, I'm on the left. I was like, okay, I come here. I am a Nazi far-right Republican who is horrible, who is saying the worst things ever, who's a conspiracy theorist, who thinks that cold plunges will heal autism, which is not even what I've someone said that to me. I was like, what are you talking about? But this is what happened. Like, the goalpost has shifted so far in just going to a different place.
And it's unfortunate it's one side that's alienating the other.
Mm-hmm.
When I was more so on the left, having conversations with people on the right, they would talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
They were open with me. When I started going towards the right, all the people on the left kicked me out their life. Cancel me. We're not friends anymore. You're a homo. I had this man, we were really good friends, this white gay dude come to me. He's like, Amir, I cannot be friends with you anymore. You're just way too racist and homophobic for me. I just can't handle it. I am blacker than 11:59 p.m. and I am with a dude for a living. But because of my thoughts and opinions, you write me off as this one thing. It's stupid, it's idiotic, and it just shuts down conversation. And I don't know why these people ever want to get together and like they want to say equality and diversity, but you don't really want that. Mm-hmm. You can't label someone all these names because you're eroding what these words mean.
Yeah.
I know what real homophobia looks like. I know what real racism looks like. And everything that they call us is not that. It's just not. And they're literally devaluing what words mean from like, words. They don't mean anything anymore. You call someone a Nazi, it's like, are they? Who are they? They might be my friend. Because like, hell, you go so far to just claim everybody's a Nazi. It's like, well, damn, what is a Nazi? You say everybody's racist. Well, what is racist? Mm-hmm. What is homophobic? You're ruining what these words mean. And now it's just a wild, wild west out here.
Yeah. They're like, nothing means everything because everything's so overused. And I think the reason it's overused is because people can just hide behind the screen and they get to say whatever they want. And there's actually a school forum app. I keep going back to the school, but this is what I'm going through right now. Yeah. And it's anonymous, completely anonymous. You can totally dox someone anonymously. So I could say, I live in this dorm, this apartment, this hall, this place, and I believe X, Y, and Z. Completely dox somebody else because I know who they are. And it's like a horrible thing. And then, it's frustrating. But that's what social media is, because people make a fake account. Yep. They hide behind a fake thing. A lot of the users are bots. And then you're just running into algorithms and bots that are showing you an algorithm that's going to make you pissed off, that's going to make you angry. And then it leads you to do something as horrible as the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Or even defend it. Because on one end, it's a lot of bots. But on the other end, it's like, are you really allowing yourself to be that gaslit and manipulated where you're going to celebrate someone being shot and killed? It's like, for the people that celebrate that and applaud that, it's like, how corroded have you become by just social media and these algorithms and these echo chambers?
I think the phone is the shaker of the jar. Yeah. I think that's what it is. And I think it's the perfect tool. It keeps people on it. Mm-hmm. It isolates them. And then it also feeds them the information that they're going to get. If you can get someone alone and you can show them bad thoughts, they're now having bad thoughts alone. that is festering in their mind, and that leads people to do horrible things.
To that point, I wouldn't say it's the phone. I'd say it's the companies that benefit from creating echo chambers or gaslighting the public. Because the phone also has been incredible.
Yes.
It can be used greatly. And I think it can only be used for greatness if more of our society woken up to what it's like being manipulated via these social media platforms and kind of like pushing for some sort of change within that, because the phones can be great, but it's just the amount of bad actors out there and people that manipulate it and capitalize off of it. It's sad. It's very, I don't want to say very easy, but I feel like there's ways where it can be adjusted and it can be changed as far as what these social media companies are doing and these news companies and what people are doing for clicks. And it's annoying. It's very annoying and frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. In a time like this where you see someone's mortality on such a huge scale and platform, how has this affected your relationship with God and the divine? And how does that relationship, if there is one, play a role in your life?
It's affected me in the sense that I want to be surrounded by more people that have a moral compass. I wouldn't necessarily say it's changed my faith in what I believe, but it's definitely altered me in a way that I do want to go to church more. Yeah. So I want to be surrounded by more people that have some type of moral grounding. Not to say that Christians are very moral. I know some very corrupt Christians. I know some wild people that be doing some wild stuff. And then go to church on Sunday and act like everything's all fine and dandy. And I'm like, you're wilding. But what I find, especially now, you know, being 30, is that's like I'm looking around me. The most corrupt and like bigoted, hateful people that I like are actually hateful, actually deranged, are the atheists. All my agnostic friends that don't really know, and they're just like, don't know, but there's something there. They're sane. Most of my Christian friends, they're sane. Are there some deranged Christians that are just like, Amir, you're an abomination, you're gonna burn in hell? They exist. But damn, these atheists that I know, or that are out there, I don't know. It's just, I see a lot of hate from that sect of people. So what happened to Charlie really pushed me to be around more, you know, more Christian-like people. People that believe in something. Yeah. But personally, it hasn't really altered my faith and, you know, what I necessarily believe.
Through, and you've talked about it on other interviews before, but your upbringing, you went through conversion therapy. I would go to lengths to say that your relationship with God was very, especially being gay, was very difficult. Yeah?
Yes and no. Okay. I grew up in the church, and it was fine. But really what expanded my mind was understanding there's more religions out there. Yeah. And like connecting all the things that all the different religions have in common. Okay. Paired with our ancient history, ancient civilizations, and, you know, that's what we can use for another episode. Younger Dryas period and all the different things we've gone through. I'm just looking at collectively there's something bigger out there. Okay. And then when I did go through conversion therapy, I just kept in mind all the good Christians that I do know. And I understand that that's not everybody. Yes. That was freshman year. I went to 2 weeks with the pastor, 3 meetings a week, then 2 meetings with the youth leader, who I swear was gay, and then 2 weeks with my grandpa's farm to do manly straight things, which that did nothing. I learned a lot, but I'm still homosexual. So, I mean, even that, after that, I signed up for Bible class. I still wanted to learn. I still wanted to know more about it. And I acknowledge that there are some, in my opinion, some very hateful Christians out there, and they're in their right to have their opinion. I have my own. It's fine, but it definitely has been a journey, especially. I think that's definitely affecting me going to church. Like, it's like going to church now, I'm like, all right, will someone throw a rock at me? Not literally, but like, it's like nerve-wracking. When the last time I was really in church, the pastor was directing all his sermons at me and talking to me like, oh, you know, being gay is bad, and like looking at me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So going through that was a little wild, but I understand that that's not everybody's view, especially a lot of Christians out there.
Yes, and I think the more that I really like, in some ways, the way that modern Christianity is going, and I think that we are learning to be more inclusive and accepting of people, not necessarily for certain Christians approving, but accepting. I think there's a difference and an importance in that. Yeah, it's fascinating to hear your story, like the conversion, like what the.
It was wild. I liked my best friend's status on Facebook, and was like my status for "to be honest" on your feed, and she went on my feed and said, "Amir, you're my gay best friend," and then it just went all over the family. And my mom texted me, "This isn't real," and went off. And I went home. We didn't talk for 3 days. She just like make dinner and like leave it on the fridge or on the stove and like go to her room. No good to mine. We didn't talk at all. And then did the tweets with the pastor, youth leader, then camp. They came back. And then she did say something profound. She was like, "Amir, I just want you to know, it was I hope that you just remember you're Amir first and you're not like gay." And I'm like, thank you. Could have said that from the beginning. That I was insightful, but also understood more about where her point of view was coming from. I mean, growing up, she told me that every man on earth has a bubble of AIDS in their booty hole. And when two men have sex, it pops, and then they both get AIDS and die. That's what I was taught when I was like 7, 8, 9. Deranged.
Yeah.
Terrifying me, especially growing up. But then I learned that she watched her uncle die in the AIDS epidemic. So she just associated anything gay as in like, you're going to die. Yeah. So still not right, but I understood a little bit. But I'm just glad that she did say that I am Amir first, because I am. So we'll say when I came out, I was wearing rainbows, and like some people think I'm flamboyant now. Like, no, so I'm like, girl, I was flaming. That's what I was like when I first came out. And then I have to remind myself, like, I don't have to be anything I'm not. Yeah. You don't have to. Just because you're a gay guy out there doesn't mean you gotta act all silly, rainbows, and be flamboyant. That exists. There are some guys out there like that are just actually flamboyant. But you don't have to be that. And just because you're black, you don't have to fit and conform with the idea of what a black person's supposed to be. Just because you're bisexual doesn't mean you have to fit and conform with whatever that's supposed to be. Like, you can just be you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what you said about your mom and understanding where she was coming from, doing that with anyone you're confused by, and trying to, people make the most rational decision based on the tools that they have in their toolbox. So when she told you that, she probably wasn't trying to hurt you. Right. She was living out of this fear of seeing someone that she cared about die. Right. And she was like, I don't want my baby boy to go through this. I don't want this to happen to him. And I think when you try and humanize people, whether it's your mom, whether it's someone you just met, whether it's a friend who texted you something about how you disagree and they don't want to talk to you anymore, they're probably acting out of the most rational decision they have based on their experience.
They're coming from somewhere, some point of view.
Yes.
And it may not always be right. You can hear somebody out and still disagree with them. I still disagree with my mother on a lot of stuff. We still barely have a relationship, but I can at least acknowledge and understand, like, oh, well, you're corrupt or you're this because of this. I'm like, okay, I see it, I acknowledge it, and I move on. And acknowledging it doesn't mean I respect it. It doesn't mean I accept it. It's just I understand, I see it, and that's it.
As a gay man, do you associate yourself with the LGBTQ plus movement? What do you think about it? What are the problems? What are the good parts?
I associate myself with the LGB community, lesbian, gay, and bi. Because, yeah, there's this whole, I think as of right now, I'm pretty sure it's LGBTQIA plus 2A. No, it's a 2A plus S. The spirit there's two spirit in there somewhere. It's all so damn stupid.
What is that?
Like,
Two spirit?
Yeah, having two spirits.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's having two spirits. There's a whole bunch of letters. I just think we need to bring it back to biology. You like penis. You either like what you have, like what you don't have, or like both. That's it. This TQ plus is all identity. It's all different than me. You look at any LGBTQ plus rights organization, it's all TQ plus related stuff because the LGBs were fine. You look at any graph, gay relations in this country, left, right, center was rising. Got the right to get married. We were chilling. The main goal of a nonprofit is to dissolve itself. There's a problem. There's a nonprofit. You're focusing on the problem. Try to change people's minds. You get rid of it. Boom. Nonprofit goes away. The LGBs were getting to be fine. Money was probably drying up. And then all of a sudden, bam, now TQ plus is the main issue. Now trans is the main issue. All this queerness, the non-binaries, the they, thems. That's all these organizations are focusing on. They have nothing to do with me. And I don't associate with that community at all because it's like I'm all for having the same rights, but everything they fight for, not everything, but 99% of the things that they fight for, I have nothing to do with, and I don't want anything to do with. I don't think we need this huge pride parade. I don't think we need every company to have a rainbow logo. I don't think kids should be transitioning. I don't think kids need to be with drag queens. And having these thoughts are very rational to me. They're not insane, and I don't relate to that. There are some things that I relate with, a lot of things that I relate with other gay people on, but that's the LGB. I don't relate with trans people. I don't relate with non-binary people. I don't relate with none of that. And I think it's done more harm than good when you have a community of this large of an umbrella that has no moral grounding or basis, because this is the same community again that is saying, oh, if you're gay, it's so stupid. If you're gay, you like men. Well, now there's women that are claiming to be men, so they are men. It's a lot of just infighting nonsense, and it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't. Not a part of that community. And most people, you ask the common person out there, do you support the LGBTQ plus community? They're gonna struggle, or they might say no, and they're probably gonna say no mainly because of all the trans and queer stuff going on nowadays. Most people that disagree with the LGBTQ community rarely have a problem with gay people. Because we just chill and mind our business.
How does that even make how does that make sense? How do you, why, this was originally, I thought it was for everyone, for all the people, and now.
I think that was the problem. It was for everybody, and people took that literally. Whereas now, because you have a more feminine side, you can be considered non-binary. You have a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Do you like being a little spoon sometimes? Do you like being held and cuddled?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, well, maybe you might be non-binary because that's not a manly thing for you to do. And it's instead of just taking people and being like, oh, here's your personality, they're attaching labels to every single facet of their personality. It's it's never ending. Let people just exist. Not everyone's going to be the stereotypical alpha man, alpha female, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You're allowed to just exist, and none of it makes any damn sense, dude.
Yeah. It's there's no rules. There's no rules, I think, maybe come from some sort of moral system that exists, whether that's religion, whether that's something else. But defined rules, and I think this is just the antithesis of rules.
Yeah. And they
facts.
promote all the non-rules. They promote all the degeneracy. I tell gay people, yeah, a little lewd. Like my body count's 4, and they're like, "What? Oh my gosh, like you're already on the hundreds, or you need to get on Grinder." And I'm like, no. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean I need to fornicate with every living being out there.
Yeah.
And you're pushing that on so many other gay people that are coming out and okay, well, I guess I got to go to the gay clubs. I guess I got to get on Grinder. I guess I got to do this and that, when you're allowed to just be yourself. And they're doing more harm than good. Again, it's all these copy and paste twinks out here, hippering and hollering that, oh, we're for diversity, and yes, but the second you have a gay person that's acting quote unquote normal, they're a self-hating gay person. They have suffering from internalized homophobia because they don't accept who they really are. Why is accepting who you really are consists of this damn box? It don't make sense.
Yeah.
It makes none.
Yeah. I think the copying and pasting, I at least I can speak from my experience in church. It's very similar, honestly. When there's a fad, when there's a thing, people all talk the same way, dress the same way, do the same thing. Oh, we listen to these songs. It takes over the entire life because you want to fit in, because we naturally
fit in.
We are a social people. Humans are social creatures. We need to be a part of a group. We want to belong. And I see things like the LGBTQ movement as something where the people that didn't belong, which is a sad thing, all coming together and being like, we belong here. But now it's like only some of us belong here, as long as you believe that some of us belong here.
Exactly.
And then it becomes a tribe. And then when you have a tribe, then you have radical, aggressive actions. And that's what the left has become. That's what some parts of the right have become.
We need a middle ground, because in that, I think especially, it's so annoying, like, I can't find the right words, but what frustrates a lot of gay people on the left, liberal gays, is there's a lot of conservative gays, closeted gays, down low gays that are out there. And that boils the blood of so many gay liberal people. Because like you said, there is this box. There's this, we're all conservative, we're all in the church, we're conforming, yay. Conformity is boring. We need a baseline of how we're acting in this society, but we're allowed to listen to different music, dress differently, act differently, that's okay. And so much of the basic stuff is like ridiculed that you push people to that tribe, or you push people to suppress little things about who they are, and it comes out on the bottom, like on the DL, or just on this subculture that's not talked about a lot. And that is there's a reason Grindr shuts down at a lot of Republican conventions. There's a reason all these gay people are so mad, gay liberals are so mad at, some politicians, more conservative-leaning politicians out there, because it's like, homie, we was getting together in high school. Or like, you're cheating on your wife with a man. There's so much of that happening. Like, we download Grindr on your phone, you go down to Brentwood or Franklin, one of these rich old, like demographically rich, white, Christian neighborhoods, they're on Grindr.
Yeah.
So that part's frustrating too, is that there's no sense of realness, but it's hard to be more real on that side sometimes, especially on the aspect of being gay or being more different. So that part's interesting too.
Yeah, again, it's that intellectual dishonesty, feeling like someone is not being, they're being facetious, they're lying.
There's a reason why there's a lot of, it's all anecdotal. There's no data to this, because people are very honorable being like, holding secrets or whatever. But at least in my experience and all the people that I've talked to, there's a reason why there's a good chunk of conservative men out there that are attracted to and go for the trans women out there, because they're actually gay, but they want, or they need to society, and they need a woman.
Yeah.
Or they still want a woman, but they want other things and other times. There's a lot of underlying stuff happening, and it's hard bringing it to light and making it make sense for people, but I will say that is a big frustration when I talk to gay people on the left. It's just how closeted and hateful the right is sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, because to say that the right is innocent is a lie.
right.
They are there have been many times, there are still times that the right messes up big time. I'm not a right-wing person whatsoever. For my entire life, I thought I
feel
was.
like we barely talk about politics.
Yeah.
It's just cultural stuff. We're not this far right-wing people.
No, this is just us as people that are a part of society talking about society.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're in it and we're a part of it. I mean, you come at it from different points because we came from different backgrounds, we have different experiences. And this is the kind of conversations that people should be having. When you try and understand, I'm trying to understand who Amir is, then you get really great things that happen because your walls come down.
Mm-hmm.
We're leveling and connecting on a human level, and we're getting to have these great conversations.
We need more of that.
Yes, yeah. Every time I have a conversation with someone and I ask them about their story, it disarms them, and then we can talk about whatever we want to because you're treating them like a human. They are human. Whereas people view people as an enemy, as something that is a cause. It's pain and pleasure. They are causing pain to you by existing.
Mm-hmm. We were just talking about this in my friend's group chat because outside there's a lot of stuff going on with like the world and Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens.
Yes,
big stuff.
Your video on Candace Owens was amazing.
Thank you. And one of my friends is like, "Oh well, are you really gonna believe what Candace says? Like she's insane or yada yada." And I'm like, "Remember, she's a human." And then, well, no, she's this figure online, and I'm like, well, she's someone that I can text. It's like a lot of us look at these figures as like, oh, it's just an Amir, it's a Candace, or it's a Brett, it's like this person online, but they're human. They're human. They're coming from a point of view, their own experiences, what they've gone through, what they've dealt with, and we should acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's hard for some people out there when they're just looking at their screen, but there's real people out there that go through real stuff, and we should at least acknowledge that first.
Yeah.
And humanize people more.
Also, if you're so bothered about someone that you don't even know, like a real human, if you're so bothered about a human you don't know, and you hate what they have to say so much,
you need to log off.
That you just turn off your phone.
You need to log off. You clearly got more shit going on in your life that you need to take care of. You got bills to pay. You're going through anxiety, depression. You hate your job. You hate your life. You hate your relationship, friendship, drama. Just worry about your life.
Yes.
Worry about your immediate circle. If you're caring this much and you're this vocal about what someone's saying online, log off. It is okay. Unless it's your career, that is one other thing, but no one's forcing you to pay attention to what's going on in the world at every single moment in time.
Yeah.
Don't allow yourself to go through that stress.
Nothing's going to change if you stop watching Candace Owens because it's making you mad. Like, seriously.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
If social media is affecting you in such a way where your mental health is being disrupted, take a break.
Yes, 100%.
I said at the end of every single one of my YouTube videos, I don't know what the hell you got going on in your life, but if it's chaotic, you need to log off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about your damn views. I care about how you're viewing yourself in that mirror. And if you're not happy with how you're viewing yourself in that mirror, you need to address that first and foremost. Before you're trying to be Captain Save a Ho, trying to save the world and change your friends' minds and family and cousins, just worry about yourself. Yeah. You ain't gonna change nothing if your life is corrupt, falling apart, in shambles. You have to address home first and then everything else secondly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
I have a couple more questions. Mm-hmm. These are, I ask these questions to every single guest, but I kind of tailored it a little bit to you because I really have been excited about this episode, and it's been a fun time talking to you.
I've loved this. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. In a time of our heightened polarization and what we've got going on right now, what we've been pretty much talking about this entire episode, what are some advice you have to specifically younger people, but it could be everyone, of steps we can take to try and heal the divide in America?
I would say have more patience and have more understanding, and to really hear out other people. But it has to come from a side of respect, and it has to come from honesty and vulnerability, and that you don't know everything. It's okay to not know everything. You don't, at the bare minimum, know your why and why you feel a certain way, not because you're told to feel a certain way. Because I am black and gay, I was always told Republicans hate you, white people are racist, the list can go on. And I remove myself from that. I'm an individual. I can think for myself. The world opened up for me. You are allowed to think for yourself, and we need to be having more rational conversations and to hear people out. Not everybody's racist for thinking differently than you, homophobic, transphobic, bigoted. Calm down and hear someone out. If off the bat we can sit here and acknowledge, like if everyone's saying, oh my gosh, Charlie Kirk or Trump, racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, you can say that. But for you to say that, you have to also at least be honest and question yourself. Okay, you want to stand firm in that? Answer the question as to why so many black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, women, and trans people like Charlie Kirk and like Donald Trump. Hear them out. Because this first person comes to mind, this girl that I've been beefing with. You this white girl from the suburbs telling me, a black gay person, that this man is racist and homophobic. When you didn't meet him, I did. I spent time with him. And I know the action that he's done for gay people and black people. That's not racist or homophobic. So what are you talking about? So off the bat, listen to that. Yeah. If you're going to be staying firm and they're this, and this, why is that this, and this being supported by the people you say he hates? Look at that.
Yeah. What do you do when it comes to your phone on managing what's coming in and what you're seeing?
I have, what's over there? I have no wallpaper, no apps on my home screen, and I have 0 notifications on my phone. Only text and calls, and DoorDash, because I need to know when they're here, and Uber. But realistically, like without besides utilities, 0 notifications come to my phone. I use social media because I stay up to date on my friends. I will specifically look for my friends on social media, look at what they're up to and log off. YouTube comments, I filter through some of them, like for an hour a week. That's it. I use it as a tool, like literally as a tool to benefit me in my life. And if it's not doing that for you, you need to create a phone that does, that benefits your productivity, benefits how you're communicating with people, how you're networking, how you're talking, utilizing different to-do lists, different app blockers. There's so much that you could be using your phone for, but make sure it's working for you and it's not working. It's not controlling you.
Yes. I use the brick. I don't
know. Brick. Yeah. I love the brick.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's brick. And, yeah.
Have you seen the light phone?
I have.
I like the light phone.
My friend had one and I got rid of it.
Okay.
Because it's just the green bubble, and there's so much you can do with an iPhone. You can make an iPhone a light phone.
Yes. And that's what I've been working on figuring out.
It's just hard to do.
Yes.
But I think I've told you about the app that I'm making. I haven't said much about it, but we'll talk about that another time. We can dive into it
if you want to, but
not right now.
Okay, we'll skip it.
That's going to change the game too for a lot of people that want to change their life around.
100%.
Yeah.
Amir, what book has changed your life?
The Change Your Life is funny because there's 2 books, and one, I really don't want to butcher the name. I think it's just called The Happiness Project, and it's yellow. I'm pretty sure it's just called The Happiness Project. Could be more to it. But I read that one in high school. But utmost favorite book is by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's, is that what it's called?
The Happiness Project, is that what it looks like?
Yeah, it's that.
That's it.
Okay, yeah, that one's really good. But the one that I always shoot for people and like always advocate first and foremost is Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Favorite book.
Really?
It puts into words exactly how you can change your life off of your mindset. Your mindset matters way more than you think.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for my mindset, I would not be here today.
Yeah.
I am every statistic to be nothing in this life. And I fought all through that by just my mindset, working hard, and being diligent. But if you understand that, like, if you want to change your personality, you literally have to change your reality.
Yeah.
You have to become a different person. You have to look forward to the future. You have to change the way you move in life. And it's not a matter of being fake. It's having a goal and standards for yourself. And you can achieve that. Anybody can achieve that if they're doing what they need to do to focus on themselves. Lock in, tunnel vision. Do what you need to do to take care of you, and your life will go far. But you have to believe that you have to be convicted of that.
Yes.
If you're not going to go far in this planet. You're not going to go far in this earth. And it's going to be very hard for you. But you have to be, if you recognize that everybody's the same, that there's not 95% of the people act the same and are this fake or whatever, then act like the 5%. And then act like that 1% of that 5%.
Yeah.
And lock in, and you'll become unrecognizable.
If you could tell 18-year-old you one thing, what would you tell him?
To calm down, not be so stressed out about life, and everything around you. And it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life and where you want to be. It's okay to pause, reflect, and figure out exactly what makes you happy. And whatever makes you happy, how can you take that and get paid from it? You need money to survive in this world. So figure out what makes you happy, how you can get paid from that. But not just what makes you happy, know your why.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are doing stuff that makes them happy, but it's not fulfilling that happiness. It's not even what they want to begin with. So know your why. Amir, you're 18. You're stressed out about being black and gay in America. Why? Because, I'm going to be gunned down. Why? Oh, because so many black people get shot. Okay, how many? Drill down and really figure out your why. Oh, well, Trump makes me so mad because he wants a border wall. Why do you... You're mad at that, but in order to get in your apartment complex, you have to what? Pass by a gate and an armed guard. If you have a business, are you going to lock it up? Yeah, okay. If you're in charge of the country, you're going to lock it up? Yeah. Like, really think and process a lot of different things out there. But if you're 18, it's okay to reflect on what you want to do in life. You don't know everything.
Yes.
You can change your mind, understand your why, and don't give up. I'll say that.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, man.
Where can people find out more about you? Where do you want to send people?
Just amirodom.com, amirodom.com, and then my name, selfishly, just Google Amir Odom, and it will come up. Look for black dude, glasses, better haircut than what I look like now. I'm about to get my haircut now. I look like a runaway slave, and it makes me not happy. It look deranged. YouTube, Amir Odom, and that's where you can find me, and hope to see y'all there.